Good morning, everybody. I'm Colin. Welcome to my house. It's time for Charity Hammer, and before we get started, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate all of you watching. Even when I was really little, it was important to my parents that everybody knew our house was a place that you could come and you could hang out and you could have fun and that my mom would feed you. That's really continued forward with my love for this community and this hobby. And so I've brought, like 30, 40 friends over, and we're gonna have them all here and we're gonna feed them all, and we're gonna put on a show for you guys, and it's gonna be just amazing. So bear with us for the next few days, hang out, enjoy yourselves, and it's time for Charity Hammer.
Charity Hammer is a Warhammer 40K live stream event that takes place over the course of 3 days to raise money for Child's Play charity, dedicated to improving the lives of children with toys and games in their network of over 185 hospitals and now shelters worldwide. Since 2003, Child's Play has partnered with children's hospitals around the globe by supplying video games and consoles to play, providing resources like their therapeutic video game guide, and acting as a hub of knowledge where gaming and technology are concerned in the children's hospital setting. Since 2015, they've expanded their support to include domestic violence shelters as well. 3 years ago, we created Charity Hammer to support this great organization and the life-affirming work that they do. Last year, we raised over $40,000 for Child's Play, and this year our goal is to raise $50,000. This year, beginning Thursday, June 23rd at 8 a.m. Pacific through Sunday, June 26th at 3 p.m. Pacific, we will host the 4th annual Charity Hammer, an 80-hour Warhammer 40K marathon gaming stream. You can look forward to 3 live streams of continuous gaming action, along with a 4th stream featuring commentary, interviews, and the ever-fun overnight gaming sessions with some of your favorite best in tabletop personalities. You can also count on mountains of Warhammer 40K swag, with some big surprises being given away throughout the entire weekend. To support Child's Play, just go to charityhammer.com and click the Donate Now button. For every $30 you donate, you'll get a raffle ticket for a chance to win a prize, including your chance at one of the grand prizes, a $1,200 gift certificate to Hammerhead Games, or having your army painted by Sean Naden. This is your chance to watch many of the best 40K players in the world, win some incredible prizes, and most importantly, improve the lives of children when they need it the most through the power of play. We can't wait for you to join us from June 23rd through the 26th for one of the largest and most important streaming events in 40K, the 4th annual Charity Hammer 2022.
Hey, welcome to Charity Hammer. It's John and Colin.
Hello.
We're here to get you ready. I was going to say get them started, but they're not doing anything. We're doing the things.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be fun to put the camera this way so you could see people coming and going and getting ready for their games back there. We're just about an hour out from starting 80 hours straight of 40K. So that's going to be really great. If you don't know who we are, I guess we should start with that. That would be weird.
It would be, yeah.
A little strange, but we'll start with that. I'm Colin Sherman. I'm the creative director for Best in Tabletop, and I'm also the founder and principal organizer of Charity Hammer. Welcome to my home. With me is John. Go ahead and introduce yourself, John.
I'm John. I'm one of the coaches at the Art of War 40K. I am here just helping out. I've been to Charity Hammer every year. It's a wonderful event, and I love being here to support Colin, help him with everything well and good in the world, and of course, supporting Child's Play.
That's right, which we'll talk about in just a moment. John is actually on every objective marker. That is why John is significant at Charity Hammer, because he's on all of the objective markers.
It's good to be the inspiration.
That's kind of a joke for the veteran fans. Yes. All right. So here's what the deal is. There's a charity called Child's Play. Child's Play is started by the Penny Arcade guys. They did that comic. They've done a comic strip for a long time about gaming. And Child's Play is basically, how do we get toys and video games and help with those things to children's hospitals? They do it. It's an incredible thing that they do, and we absolutely want to support them, and we do. They've actually added domestic abuse centers. There's a lot of background noise as we sit here, isn't there? They've added domestic abuse centers as something that they're helping as well. So they're just a fantastic charity, and we are going to give every single dollar we raise to them. Not a single dollar will go to us, to the food, to anything. That's part of the way that Charity Hammer works. So here's what we're asking of you. You get to watch all of this for free. It's going to be basically 4 streams. There's the stream that you're watching right now, which covers everything. Then there's 3 individual streams that may not go live just yet. We'll talk about that in a moment. So you get to watch all that for free. It's also all going to be online, so you can watch it later if you want. What we ask is that you donate. So we have a link. It's on charityhammer.com. I'm sure that link will be showing up in the chat throughout the weekend as well. And you can just donate as much as you're comfortable donating. We ask that you find it in your heart to help us out. Every $30 you donate gets you a raffle ticket. And I was going to give something away right now, but in the chaos of everything for the last 24 hours, I am actually not ready to do that. So at the start of the next game at 9 o'clock, I will give away a Beast Snega box.
Ooh.
I think that's a good prize.
Awesome, yeah.
And then later in the weekend, we will give away a crazy amount of stuff. It's a list of like 40 different boxes of 40K stuff. We're also going to give away a month-long free Art of War War Room subscription during each time slot, and you can win that and another prize. We're just going to do that's like a bonus raffle that we're doing. The 2 grand prizes we'll do at the end. One of them is $1,200 gift certificate to Hammerhead Games. So you can buy whatever you want. You could buy 40K from them. You could buy Marvel Crisis Protocol. You could buy Magic the Gathering. Whatever you want to get from them, you can order it up and have it shipped to you. The other grand prize, we have 2 grand prizes. The other grand prize is that Sean Naden, you'll send him an army, he'll paint it and send it back to you. Now, what do you think of Sean Naden's painting, John?
There's a reason I never get best overall, and one of them is Sean Naden.
Yes. I think he's gotten best overall at LVO like
Twice in a row, I believe.
all of the times? Like at least twice in a row.
The last 2, I believe.
Yeah, at least twice in a row. So that's a hell of a prize. Now, the way we do the grand prizes is we draw them at the end, but if you've already won another prize, you could trade that out for the grand prize so that winning early doesn't mean that you can't win the grand prize. So everybody donate now, right now, because like minutes from now, we're going to start giving stuff away, and we're going to give stuff away in every single time slot for the entire weekend. So if you donate now, you will have better chances to win than if you donate later.
Yes.
That's the sort of strategy tip that you can look forward to from this weekend. All right. So the way the streams are going to work, this stream that you're watching now is going to be interviews and commentary and such with people like John and myself in between the games. And then we're going to have commentary through the whole thing that's going to bounce around between all of the tables that are active. Starting this morning in the hour from now when we start, is going to be Adam Camilleri doing that commentary. But we're also going to have Scary and Dustin Henshaw, who I've heard is great at commentary. I haven't heard him, but I know Dustin's an amazing human. We're going to have all types of people. I don't think I'm going to be able to remember the whole list, but lots of guests will be coming in to do commentary over the next 4 days. So if you don't want to watch the commentary and you're one of those people that says, what I really want to hear is the players talk, which there's a number of people that feel that way. There are individual streams for that. Those individual streams aren't live quite yet, so this morning we may not have those going, but for the GT and everything else the rest of the weekend, we will have those going, and you can click in on them and you can watch them. So that is how this is all going to work. You're going to donate. If you haven't already, you should donate right now. So go do that. If you can't donate, they can also help out. They can tell people about it.
That's what they can do.
Post us on Facebook, comment on us, shoot us out to your Twitter people, whatever you do to contact your peeps. However your 40K community talks, tell them that this is happening, get them to watch, have them help support us. All right, so here's what I think is really funny.
Yes.
Timing-wise, this is almost perfect.
You chose perfectly.
Almost.
Just so close.
If it had been next week,
Oh, it would have been even better.
I think it would have been better. So we actually don't have lists done at all.
Nope.
Because you may not know this, but some changes have happened to the game.
This morning. Yesterday.
And
Last
the day
week.
before.
Yeah, on Saturday. There's so many coming in.
So this morning's event, the Bad RTT, which we'll talk about in just a second, it's going to use old rules. That's our palette cleanser.
Yep.
While that's happening, we are reconfiguring all of Charity Hammer. From the moment that Bad RTT is over, everything is new. New points, new data slate, new missions. You're wondering how the meta's going to look? Well, I got to tell you, we got about 200 and something hours of 40K using new rules. Start with some pretty amazing players. It's like literally about to start. So what do you think in general? of all those changes?
Oh man, I think we're in a whole new game. I mean, I've heard some jokes that GW released 10th edition this morning.
Yeah.
It feels like we've got.
I was calling it 9.5, which I think is fine too.
I think 9.5 is what we're gonna call it because this feels like the biggest shift we've had since the edition started.
I agree.
I'm super excited for this. I think the meta is going to get flipped on its head and be very exciting because now it feels like there's a lot of armies that feel roughly equal. Yeah. There's a lot of armies that feel like they just got reinvigorated.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of depth to explore. There's going to be so much happening, so much going on, and so much excitement and passion for all of these armies that have maybe felt a little listless for a while. And just about all of them that are Chaos
think
Demons.
I know what's good.
That's the thing. I know one thing that is good.
Sisters?
Yes, I think sisters are good. And beyond that, like I could not tell you 4 of the top 5 right now.
Yeah. So sisters were great already.
Yeah.
You already felt like they had because of Armor of Contempt that they were doing really well, and then their points went down.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty good.
Sisters, I thought were the best army that didn't get nerfed, and then they got better.
So
I feel like I know where they stand.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the data slate that just came out this morning, but let's talk about the winners from the data slate real quick.
100%.
So orcs.
Oh, orcs are so exciting.
So WoG is better.
So
will either of us remember exactly what it does? Let's see if John
100%
does.
I do.
Oh, okay.
So WoG changed, not speed WoG, only WoG, the combat punchy one changed.
Good.
And it's the exact same as before with 2 additions.
Yes.
So whenever you have that +1 attack active, which is the first and second round of combat, first the round you call it, and then the next round.
Yes.
You get +1 strength as well.
Yep.
And also you get a 5-up invuln army-wide on the turn you call WoG, and a 6-up invuln the turn after you call WoG.
Which is so great.
Yeah. They also put some little stealth buffs in there where you no longer are limited to 1 of each buggy unit, but 3 buggies of each type total. So you can do 3 singles instead of having to do 1 unit of 3 if you want.
Well, that's just better.
It's just better. You're still not going to take 9. So if you 3D printed 9, sorry, that investment's not coming back.
Yeah.
But 3 of each buggy is now a little more spreadable.
I think that's interesting because in 8th edition, it felt like a big part of orcs was the mech custom force fields.
Yeah.
And giving everybody, and they don't really do that now. Like
No.
orc players don't really do that. So like nothing has an invul.
Yep.
So giving it an invul, is it only an invul in combat or is it? Oh, it's just an invul.
Yeah, just an invuln. As far as I can tell, it is just an invulnerable save.
That's great. And then what about guard?
Guard gained Armor of Contempt on all of their vehicles.
Which is so fun.
Is good. I'm glad they didn't give it to the infantry.
Yes.
Just wouldn't have felt right.
It's silly.
It's really interesting on vehicles, especially 2-up armor save Lehman Russ.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Lehman Russ is quite durable for the points.
Yeah.
Like that is a lot of wounds at a 2-up save.
Yeah, that's true. So if you shot really heavy shooting at it, like if you shot some AP4, it's still getting a 5-up save. Yeah, which is, I was always annoyed that they don't have an invul.
Yes.
Like I always felt like a Lehman Russ, being the iconic durable tank, should have an invul because of the way the game's designed. But it doesn't feel right for it to have an invul.
Yep.
It's much better for it to just be strong.
Yeah, when someone finds AP6, they'll deserve it. But other than that, those Russ are getting a save.
There's got to be something out there with AP6.
I'm sure there's a volcano land somewhere.
Some ridiculous AP. All right, so let's see. Those are 2 of the big winners. Oh, and let's talk Necrons.
Oh, Necrons. Necron players, I always hear that they're waiting.
Yes.
They've been waiting for 10,000 years. They can wait another one.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for right now.
Their points went down.
Their points went down yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah, talk about big changes, right? We haven't even talked about yesterday's point changes. Not only did their points go down, but also they reworked command protocols.
Yeah.
So now when you pick 5 command protocols, there's one that's left out. And the one that's left out, instead of not being used for the game, is active for all 5 turns. So instead of you leave the worst one at home, you take the best one and stick it to the side, and that one is all 5 turns. And then the rest of it just gets distributed normal. They also made it easier to get. It's no longer off of Necron nobles, it's off of Necron characters. So you get to keep your protocols a lot longer. It's not like you have to build your list a certain way. And then just to make sure that we got the message, they added core to all Necron vehicles. And the ramifications for that are probably developing as we speak.
Yeah.
But it's just every vehicle's core.
The Silent King is a
Silent
vehicle.
King is a vehicle.
Yes.
So
tell them about the Minear thing, because that amuses me.
Oh my goodness. So I think it's Rites of Reanimation lets you pick up 1 core model in a unit in nearby. So you can just pick up a Minear now.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know how that's going to interact, because as soon as the Silent King's wounded, you have to allocate to him. But then if there's a Minear there, you have to allocate to the Minear. And that's going to be a mess, but we're going to have to figure that one out later. But for now, it's a huge buff for Necrons. I think it's taken them all the way from the bottom to very near the top.
Here's something funny about that. That helps it charge.
It does.
That helps the Silent King make charges.
100% does.
The Silent King is not quite fast enough.
No.
But if you can bring him a near back, that's getting you probably 4 inches of movement.
It's not like he doesn't reroll wounds in combat now, because he does. That's gonna add up.
Oh man. Okay, so we were pretty sure that Hail was gonna go all consuming.
It did.
Hail went all consuming. Eldritch Storm got nerfed. It's maximum one additional Farseer now,
I
basically.
think so. Yeah, it's only one action matters.
Yeah. Now the big thing for Eldar, I thought, was the battle focus change. Is the battle focus strat? First of all, fire and fade once a game.
Yep.
Try not to overreact. We don't have any CP anymore. So like that's
okay.
And I already wasn't really fire and fading, and they made vectored engines 20 points. So they want Eldar to participate in the game. They don't want him to just hide.
All I've ever wanted, Colin.
I know it's what Eldar want to do is not involved and be involved in the game. And then so for the battle focus thing, they said instead of just battle focusing 6, it's a reroll to battle focus.
Yeah, that stratagem is now a reroll, which is nice because it is done afterwards.
Yes, it's worse because it's not a 6. But it's better because you don't like regularly. There's a time in a game where I'm 3 inches from cover, and I'm about to roll a battle focus, and I'm deciding: do I do the 6 here and use the CP, or do I gamble that I can roll a 3 up? And it gives you that ability to say, okay, well, we'll reroll. Clearly a nerf, but not an entire nerf. It does change how it's used.
Definitely impactful.
Yeah.
But it's not going to just completely remove. It's not you don't use the stratagem.
Right,
It's
exactly.
still a stratagem for 1 CP that you will use frequently.
Right.
No.
I don't think there was anything else for Eldar.
No, I think that was it. No changes. To
I
Hawk
thought
offense,
Banshees. I thought Hawks would change. Yeah,
I did as well, but they did go up a little more than other units,
that's true.
and they also get indirectly nerfed by Hail of Doom being all-consuming because they don't benefit from Hail of Doom. So now they don't get the second trait that would have gone with it.
And To the Last is gone, which is a big part of why they exist. So
that is absolutely true.
And then we're not sure about AdMech. They had 5. No, they had 5 things in the data slate before, and now they have 2.
I figured it out.
Okay, good. Go for it.
So 2 of their stratagems that were once per game, which was their Fearless on an objective, and their put Sicarians in reserves, both of those are no longer once per game.
Okay.
Their stratagem for enriched rounds, which is the Ranger one where they go to heavy 2 to heavy 3 on their guns.
Okay.
Was that change was removed, so it goes back to the printing of change from heavy 2 to rapid fire 2.
Okay.
Which not only ignores the heavy penalty, but is also really good when they get close.
Nice.
Then their chickens, they got core back.
Okay.
So that removal was removed, so they just have core again by default. And then finally, that stratagem with Vanguard to do a 5-up to hit does a wound. The CP cost of it was changed from 1/2, depending on size, to 1.
Yeah.
Still only a 5+. It's not the 4+ that was printed, because... But it is now only 1 CP regardless of the unit size.
I feel like almost every stratagem should be 1 CP now. If they're going to start us with like 2,
a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that having stratagems that are 2 and 3 CP is kind of silly at this point.
Yeah, the 3 CP strats that we were like, we're never going to use that, but I'll remember I have it. That's what a 2 CP strat is now. 3 CP does not exist.
I think Orbital Bombardment's 3 CP. I think.
Yeah, it's honestly I wouldn't have spent 1 CP on it.
Yeah.
Not spent a 3.
Vect used to be 3 CP. I'm trying to think of what else is 3 CP. I don't know. Not very many things.
Not many.
Yeah.
There's a couple weird ones.
All right, who'd we forget?
Tyranids.
Oh yeah, Tyranids. Go for it.
We forget Tyranids.
Well,
Colin.
they're so good. Let's talk about their 4th nerf, or however many nerfs this is.
They did. So they had some changes to how synaptic imperatives work, and how their warlord works. So first of all, if you take a Hive Tyrant, it has to be your warlord. Second off, the synaptic imperative that you get each battle round, you only get to choose one if your warlord is alive.
Okay.
So your warlord has to be a Hive Tyrant if you've got one, and then if you lose that Hive Tyrant, you no longer will get imperatives for the rest of the game.
When you told me that before we started, it didn't hit me that everybody plays the ridiculous close combat tyrant that actually can die.
That can absolutely die.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's a big deal.
It is a very big deal. And then the one thing on top of that is that your adaptive trait, that little thing that Tyranid players do to choose the second half of their trait after you roll for the first turn, that now has to be marked on your list. So, High Fleet Kraken is still a little more flexible than like Order Bloody Rose because you can choose half of it, but it's chosen in list design now. It's no longer an at-the-table adaptation.
How big of a deal is that in practice? How often do you change up what you're taking?
Very frequently.
Okay.
So now no longer.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take the same thing every time, of course. But I think that one will be reasonably impactful. Because there were a couple of matchups where it mattered a lot to change what you were doing.
All right.
That's
okay. Did we forget anyone?
Almost certainly yes.
Yes. Sorry if we forgot your faction.
Yeah. It's coming to mind right now. There's a lot of changes in here right now.
Who else got nerfed? I think that's all the big.
Harlequins.
Oh yeah, Harlequins. Harlequins got nerfed reasonably.
They It makes sense why they didn't go up in points.
Yeah.
Because other things were coming.
Yes, exactly right. So
Yeah.
So the light thing is 18 inches instead of 12.
Exactly. So if you want to get that trans hitman rule, you now have to be further away, which is good. It makes it easier to engage with them.
I don't value that trans hitman roll.
It's
I've played a bunch of Harlequins, and I just, like, you're -1 to be hit already. So few people care about it being about the trans hitman, but fine, it's worse.
And then Dark Harlequins no longer fight on death.
Yes.
Instead, when they die on a 4+, they deal a mortal.
Right.
So it's now half a mortal each time you kill a troop, rather than 4 attacks each time you kill a
I
troop.
feel like that pushes people pretty hard to light, even with light being
I
nerfed.
fully agree. The final change that they made was that you no longer get 2 free luck dice at the start of the turn.
Ugh.
You now only get what you roll. So it's 0 plus whatever you roll.
Yeah.
So if you roll 2 and you don't roll doubles, you just get 2 luck dice, which means it's going to be a lot more difficult to manage them.
Yeah.
In the turns where you roll that double, you don't have a luck dice.
Man.
That is very impactful.
I actually don't like that change.
I honestly would have been okay with them going lower, like 1 and 3,
Yeah.
but not. I agree that might have been a little much.
I don't feel like, and Harlequins are too good, so fine that they got nerfed, but I just feel like that's like their coolest thing, right?
To me, that means that you're no longer going to take pure Harlequins because the buff is no longer impactful.
Right.
There's a one. If you only go by the logic of you take 2 luck dice at most, like you only roll 2 because then you have the least chance of rolling doubles.
Okay.
That means that 1/6 of the time you don't get a pure buff.
All right.
So.
Fair enough. All right. So before we let John go get ready for his game, we have 2 more things we're going to talk to John about.
Yes.
First of all, will you tell them about Art of War, please? Because Art of War is a platinum sponsor of Charity Hammer. And as part of that, he gets to tell you about Art of War. So tell them about Art of War.
That's what I want to do.
Okay.
So Art of War 40K is a coaching and content creation service. You
True.
can find us on YouTube and on our website, theartofwar40k.com. We put out a ton of free content on YouTube. We stream games every week. We have, explanations. We have tier lists. We have review videos, hot takes on new content. We do everything. We get content early so that we can make videos right when it comes out. So that means that with Chaos Space Marines coming out very soon, we'll have a lot of content coming up for that release. As well, we are a coaching service and a podcast platform. So you can find our coaching service both on YouTube and on our website. Again, that's theartofwar40k.com. And there we have a global community called The Worm, where we get players from around the world who all have a common interest, getting better at the game that they enjoy. So we try to foster a wonderful, fantastic community that prioritizes good sportsmanship and good play, trying to make the game enjoyable for everyone and helping people get better at the game that you enjoy. There's top coaches and top players from all around the world, like myself, Richard Siegler, Nick Donavati, Jack Harpster, Brad Chester, Ridvan Martinez, so many more, some more that are going to be here as well. And you have the best players in the world here to teach you about the game that you love and, again, to help foster that global community. So we've got a wonderfully active Discord. We do personal coaching. You can get lists and call services from us. You can find all of that and our various podcasts on our website or our YouTube channel.
I was coaching client number 2.
Number 2.
I was.
Number 1 in our hearts, Colin.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Art of War was key. It was not called Art of War at the time, but Art of War was key in my growth as a 40K player. Nick, in particular, helped me learn basically how to go from Math Hammer Guard to beating people with Double Kraken, Gene Stealer, 8th edition, Jank.
Quite the skill-based army.
Running, yes, very skill-based army. I went 3-2 at a fairly phenomenal number of tournaments trying to figure out how 40K works before that really sunk in. But yes, cool. So we'll talk about the rest of the sponsors in just a moment. Next up, what we're doing is called the Bad RTT, and it's going to be on streams 1 and 2. Before we talk about that, on stream 3, we will have Outward Realms being played. Outward Realms is one of our top sponsors. Outward Realms is a fantastic game made by the wonderful, the charming Michael Timpey. Outward Realms is a kind of platoon-sized sci-fi tabletop game with alternating activations, gorgeous models. He had a fantastic Kickstarter last year. It's really big kicking off. He has expansions planned. And we love that game. And so what we've done is we've taken some really high quality 40K players and we've taught them how to play. And they'll be playing Outward Realms on one of our streams for the next 3 games. I believe that's going to be up on the Outward Realms YouTube because our YouTube is not quite live yet. Okay, there's a nod happening from behind the camera. That is what's going on. So that link will be up and you guys can go watch the next 9 hours of Outward Realms, including Chuck Arnett from Best in Tabletop, Tyler Bortel from Best in Tabletop or Best in Faction, The Next Generation, Mitchell Hunter, probably one of the best Custodes players in the world. There's no Custodes in Outward Realm, so I don't think that will help him, but I just felt like saying it. And and Josh Schutz, who is the guy who does Joel Hammer, which is another charity event, and I just learned today is modeled off of us, and I didn't actually know that. So Joel was one of those situations where he came. So people that I've not met come to Charity Hammer. And he arrived, and we discovered that not only is he the youngest person here, which was Tyler and Lucas last year.
Yes.
But in addition to that, he has been listening to Best in Faction since he was 14 years old.
Yep.
And I said, great, wonderful. That doesn't make me feel old at all. Nothing about that makes me feel old.
Nothing at all? A little 14-year-old Josh listening to the show?
Yeah, and he's like, it's like I'm coming to see my heroes, and I'm like, oh man, you need better heroes. But that's okay. So that's going to be going on the third stream. On the first two streams for the next 9 hours is the Bad RTT. Here's how the Bad RTT works. We had really good 40K players, including Mr. John Lennon right here. We had them create terrible 40K lists by the old rules. Really bad ones. Everyone except Sean did a good job of this. So we have these terrible lists. We've taken them and we've handed them out to other people to play. The bad lists award has already been given out. You'll hear about that at the end. We already have decided who wrote the worst list. It was not John. He tried.
I tried.
He didn't actually follow instructions, though, or he would have done better.
Possibly, yes.
So John created a terrible Sisters army that Mitch is playing. But what's happening right now at 9 o'clock is that John is playing a guard list.
That is true.
And it has 27 Ogren.
People aren't ready.
Ogren. With the Ripper guns. Deka, deka, deka. They're Assault 3. No, they're Heavy 3?
Assault 3.
Assault 3, Strength 5, AP 0. Mm-hmm. And the best part about them is their 12-inch range.
That is my favorite part. It means I can advance and shoot them. That's all I wanted.
On a guy that moves 5?
Well, I need to advance, yeah.
Yes, you're going to need to advance. So, but they're going to be -1 to hit after they advance, are they not?
That's fine.
Okay.
Only
all
once.
Right. He also has 30 Ratlings. What, you have some excitement for playing with 30 Ratlings?
I actually have some excitement for playing Ratlings.
Yeah. That list also has Hydras, 2 of them. Mm-hmm. Maybe one of the worst vehicles in the entire game.
It's up there.
Maybe, yeah.
It's up there.
And what else you got? You got Gaunt's Ghost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I think there was a number of Psychers. Am I correct?
Yes, there's like 18 Weird Vein Psychers in that list.
They're not ready.
No, they're not ready at all. So John's going to be playing that into Noah, who is playing basically Ultramarines in cars getting coffee. Ultramarines in Impulsors with Thunderhammers.
Oh, with Thunder. That's actually, the Thunderhammers will be the problem here.
Well, only the Sergeant has a Thunderhammer.
That will still be a problem.
I think it's like 6 5-man Intercessor units and 5 Impulsors.
That's good for 2 Ogrins each.
Yeah. But Tiggy is on the list, which does make me happy because he's like the worst Psyker in their book.
Oh, I really like Psyker Race, actually.
No, well, everybody keeps telling me that he's not good anymore. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not an Ultramarines expert despite having a GT win with Ultramarines. That's your fault. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
So that's happening on one of the streams, and Adam Camilleri will be commentating that for you guys. And then the other game, I don't know who is.
Oh, would you like me to find out for you?
Yes, that'd be great. While John is figuring out what the other game is, because we're unprepared this morning, if you guys are wondering, this Charity Hammer is different than most, because normally we have 0 drops as we prepare. There has been a bit of a COVID situation in the Pacific Northwest. And we are down, and it's not all of these people that are not here, it's not because of COVID. We had some other stuff as well. But of the 36 people involved at Charity Hammer, 9 of them have dropped in the past 48 hours. So if we seem like we're building the airplane in flight, that is very much what's happening. We are doing our best here. We got people that are going to be very tired because we do not have the appropriate number of people here anymore. But it's still going to be amazing.
It is
it's still going to be amazing. It's always amazing. Mm-hmm. It's always amazing. Who is playing?
Hank and Fred.
All right, Hank is playing Eldar. Now, Hank was supposed to play the Eldar list that Sean Naden wrote for him. There was 6 Phoenix Lords and then 1 of each Aspect Warrior unit. And unfortunately, when we talked about that, we realized that list is entirely too good and was going to wreck everyone. The 6 Phoenix Lords alone in this particular tournament are rough.
Yeah, I don't think I could beat 6 Phoenix Lords with those guardsmen.
Right. So what we did is we took the Aspect Warriors out and put in as many Wraithblades as we could. Excellent. So now the list is 6 Phoenix Lords and 1,000,000 Wraithblades. So the list has like no shooting, hardly at all. I mean, like Balrog's going to be like, Deka Deka, okay, I shot.
I'm sure Fugan has a gun.
Fugan's got a great gun.
Excellent.
He's got a melt-a-gun that draws a line and hits everybody along the way.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well, you're not playing him. So, and who's he playing against, did you say?
Fred Foreman.
Ah, yes. And Fred is playing I believe Fred is playing I've brought 50 intercessors and nothing else. Crimson Fist list.
Does he have Pedro Cantor?
He does not have Pedro
That's
Cantor.
True, that would have been too good. You're right.
And everybody keeps saying that. But the guy that's the hardcore Crimson Fist player did not put Pedro in it. So maybe because he's too good.
It would have been too good. He's the best part of Crimson Fist.
Now, he's the guy that plays the Mandalorian, right? Pedro Cantor?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
I met him once at Comic-Con.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was he everything you'd hope he would be?
I mean, for 3 seconds in a picture, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. The only celebrity picture I have is Penn Jillette. It's the only celebrity picture I have from Penn and Teller. Okay. And what's funny about that is that he is like my size. So like I have this picture with this celebrity that happens to be bigger than me. I suspect if I took a picture with the Mandalorian guy, he would be very small compared to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. Let's talk about the rest of our sponsors, and then we'll let John go get ready. Actually, we're going to let John go get ready because his army's not put together. So John's going to go get ready for this game at 9, where he's going to have to beat. What is he beating again?
Oh, I'm going to be beating up on. It's not the Intercessors. It was the Intercessors.
It's that right. Ultramarines. Ultramarines and cars getting coffee. Yes. All right, Billy, come talk about sponsors with me. Everybody meet Best in Tabletop's Billy Heilman.
Oh, nice to meet you all.
Who I sometimes affectionately call the Hogfather, because he has a pet pig.
Yes.
Who's very cute.
She is.
Which we'll share pictures of later.
Happy to do so.
Yeah, she has an Instagram. She's a famous pig.
She is a famous pig. She's a therapy pig. So.
Is she a therapy pig?
Yeah, certified through SFSPC and everything. That's why she's famous.
Okay, we're not doing anything else but talking about that. What is happening here? You can certify a pig to be.
So Lilo the Pig. If you search her on Instagram, you will find her. She is very cute. She is certified through San Francisco SPCA.
Okay.
And is a therapy animal.
Okay.
San Francisco Airport does a program called the WAG Brigade, where they bring mostly dogs, but also miniature horses in some cases, and Lilo the Pig to the airport to calm travelers. This is the perfect 90-second end of news spot, like just little news segment. And my wife, who takes her to the airport, was on the news, and it then went all over the world. So Lilo the Pig is an internationally famous porcine child. Yeah.
What I think is most interesting about you having a pig. Mm-hmm. Other than the fact that my wife wants a pig now because of you, and you said don't do that.
It's a lot of work.
And we already have 3 kids and 3 dogs. Yeah. That's why it's not a good idea for us.
Yeah.
But what I think is really interesting about this is you said that almost all of the sayings about pigs are true.
They are. They are pig-headed. They eat like a pig.
You showed me the pig in a blanket, and she did look very happy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about our sponsors now. Are you a fan of the Army Painter?
I am a fan of the Army.
Yeah, they're fantastic. The Army Painter has sponsored us every year. They've given us a bunch of stuff to give away. We'll be giving away, I believe they have a new thing called a speed paint box set. That's like this big, hefty thing. Yeah. We're going to give away like 3 of those, I think. So I think that's like $100 and something box set. So that's cool. They're fantastic. Also, when we started doing this, like no one was doing competitive 40K streaming. There was not a lot of it. And the people that have taken that since then and run with it are really Play on Tabletop, sponsor of Charity Hammer, Art of War, sponsor of Charity Hammer, and of course, Tabletop Titans. Tabletop Titans has sponsored several of our meals for Charity Hammer. They were not able to be here this year because of scheduling, but we love them. They're amazing. If you've not watched Tabletop Titans content, the production quality is stupid.
Yeah, and also great guys.
They're in your area, right? Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I think it's mostly Bridger and Adrian these days, right? Because Brian's moved away, and I'm probably forgetting someone, but I know Bridger and I know Adrian. I don't know who else.
They're the 2 main guys that I know through it. And
yeah. Okay. So that's, let's see, who else we got? We already talked about the amazing Hammerhead games. We talked about Outward Realms. 3D6 Wargaming.
I love everything that they do. They're John Lennon Charity Hammer. He is my objective marker of choice.
Yeah. So did you guys know that objective tokens is stupid? Like having to measure within 3 inches of an objective token is dumb.
Yes.
No one should be doing that. You should use objective markers from 3D6 Wargaming. And you should buy Charity Hammer ones. Every year after Charity Hammer is over, the objective markers go live and you can buy them. This year's objective marker is a John Lennon as a Sister of Battle. shooting a hot sauce flamer at Jaime, who is a shelf, for those that have been following Charity Hammer lore. He has a shelf that he is defending with, and he is dressed as a space wolf.
Yeah, it's sweet. I've seen it.
You will see it on all of our tables. They are absolutely the objective markers that are being used. I want to say a special affection is not English. But
it is a grammatically correct sentence.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's just idiomatically weird.
Okay. Well, that's if anything, I am idiomatically weird, if anything. 36 Wargaming reached out to me 2 Charity Hammers ago and said, do you want objective markers? And since then has done them for free for us each year. And I often give them no time, like no warning, and they get them to us anyway. So thank you so much to 36wargaming.net. Please go check out all their stuff. It's all amazing. They also sell things that you can put over your mat to make it appropriately sized for 40K,
Yeah, those are nice.
which is also great. All right, 36 Wargaming, Tabletop Titans. Dark Tower Games, a huge number of their people are here helping out. They also donated a $200 gift certificate we'll be giving away to the one of the people that filled out our community survey.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
And starting tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the community survey at length.
Okay.
If you want to know who people in the world think is the worst meta, we're going to tell you. If you want to know which faction has the worst models, we're going to tell you that. If you want to know which faction has the most annoying players, we're going to tell you that as well. We're going to share all this with you because 300 people filled out a survey for us. And if 300 people doesn't sound significant to you, it's 300 people that go to tournaments. So it's like, it's not like there were 50,000 people I was drawing from.
But that actually, my understanding is this is sufficient for statistically significant data to be drawn from it. 300. I'm getting nods from someone I trust. Yeah.
Yes.
This is actual real data. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Real data. So Dark Tower, thank you so much. All right. So Bad RTT is going to be next. Then what's going to happen after that's done is all 3 streams are just going to be 40K games from 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, midnight. One of the things that'll be fun is I believe it's at 9 o'clock today. Last weekend, you guys probably might have watched on War Games Live that we had the Best in Tabletop Open, our first ever Best in Tabletop event. And the final of that was 2 Tyranid players. It was Tyler Bortel and Steve Trimble playing each other.
No, it was Trimble played Lucas.
Thank you. I completely tripped myself up there.
They just both won their games.
Yeah, so Trimble won and Tyler won, but they didn't get to play each other because we didn't have enough rounds. Well, they're playing each other today.
Oh, fun.
So we will find out who actually won that event.
There you go.
This evening. Then tomorrow morning, we'll kick off the GT. Now, because of our drops, we've changed the way we do the GT. Normally, what we did in the past is we did a challenge bracket, and it was 32 people, and it was single elimination. But there were a couple problems with that. One is if someone dropped, it was a real problem for me. And the other thing is that 16 people lost that first round and then didn't have more games in the GT. Excuse me. So what we've done is we've created pods. Now, the pods, as of a couple of days ago, were 4 pods of 6. They're certainly not anymore. But we're going to have 4 pods of players. And those pods are going to play RTTs against each other. And we're going to put about 2/3 of those games on stream. So you're going to get to see a bunch of, and we're going to do it by variety. Because everything's represented, I think, except for Necrons. But I'm going to see if I can't get Necrons represented.
There are good Necron players here.
There are, but I don't know if there's actually Necron models here. We didn't know that Necron. No, this is what I said a week from now would have been better. We didn't know what was going to be good, and so we're preparing. But we're going to try to get some variety, so you guys can, as you watch over tomorrow, you're going to get to see everything play into each other. All the different stuff is going to be going. We will get someone to play guard. There is guard here. Someone will play guard. Okay. So, maybe someone will play guard, but I'm going to try. Okay. So that's going to start tomorrow. Then on Saturday, we'll take the top 2 of each bracket, of each of those 4 pods, and we'll seed them, and then we'll do a top 8 single elimination. It'll start Saturday night, and then on Sunday, we have long 4-hour time slots where we will do the finals. Yeah. We will have it out. We will see who's going to win. And we will have the first ever 9.5 GT winner. There might be other GTs this weekend using all the new rules, but I bet there's not.
No, they generally list like, if you want to see what the new meta looks like, Charity Hammer is going to be amazing for it.
Right here.
Yeah.
And then also remember, we're going to interrupt the games and come here, and in between the games, we're going to come here and we're going to interview people.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the game. We have Michael Tempe of the Necrons here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So we will have Michael come talk Necrons. We have guard players here. We have all of the stuff. So we will give you guys the straight skinny, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
The hot take.
Yes.
The soft download. No, that's not. The rigid download? No, that's not good either.
I'm gonna just let you keep digging that hole. And,
There's no hole here. I'm just
okay.
enjoying myself. My shirt promises
That's
bad
fair.
jokes.
It's fair, and
It promises bad jokes.
there's
So
only a pig dad. I just don't have that same talent.
no,
No, it doesn't. It's not manifested as jokes. As
but you
well.
guys probably often go hog wild.
Yes, yes.
What is hog wild like for the pig?
So pigs do zoomies.
Oh,
And again, I have.
okay. Does the pig knock things over when she zoomies, or is she careful?
No, she's pretty careful. So pigs are prey animals as opposed to predators,
Okay.
and so all of their instincts are around. Please don't hurt me.
Okay.
But she's also 130 pounds in a small package, and I live in an apartment, and so it becomes interesting.
Okay. But she's good about not running into things.
Yeah, she's very good, actually.
I know when the Mythbusters did Bull in a China shop,
Yeah.
that the bull had no interest in knocking over the shelves.
No, they're delicate beings. They don't know that they have health care available to them.
Yeah.
I'm going to get hurt and die.
I don't want to be injured. As someone with a 110-pound lab, he does not share this proclivity.
That's fair.
But he's a predator animal.
Right. And
Right?
That's the thing.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we have just about 9 minutes left before we are going to it looks like is it helpful if we go dark for 10 minutes before we Okay. We're going to go dark for 10 minutes because all of our tech is not ready. But if you guys will stay put, and please do, get yourself some coffee. It's early in some places. Get a snack, order up DoorDash, get like 5 gallons of ice cream. Just sit and eat ice
You know
cream.
the other thing they could do?
What?
Donate to Charity Hammer.
They could donate to Charity Hammer. And we'll be back shortly with the first round of the Bad List RTT. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Charity Hammer is already going. Let's roll.